Hi, I'm Sierra Cadle. This is Cold Camp TV, and we are here with
Miss Barr.
All right, Miss Barr, what was your favorite thing about college?
I really enjoyed staying on campus because it was really my first time away from home and getting to meet just people from around the world that were in Athens, West Virginia.
Did you go to Concord?
Yes,
Okay.
Concord, sorry.
What was your least favorite thing?
Cafeteria food.
How many times did you change your major?
I believe it was twice. I wanted to be a journalist, but I really liked English, so I changed to teaching.
Okay. What piece of advice would you give anyone that's considering going to college?
You need to prepare your junior year, get your stuff done, try to look for college applications, fill things out, take the proper test, and really see your high school counselors in order to get information from them.
Okay. Thank you. That was very good.
Okay, thank you.
Now we're here with
Dr. Wood.
Tell me what your favorite thing about college was.
Probably when I was an undergrad just living in Morgantown. Got to see a lot of bands and make a lot of friends.
What was your least favorite thing?
Least favorite thing. Probably organic chemistry.
Do you have any advice to people who intend to go to college?
Yes. Honestly, in today's climate, I would not go to college unless I had a distinct plan of earning money after 4 years, like being a nurse or an accountant or something skill-based, like engineer, something like that.
How many times did you switch your major?
Once.
Once.
Mm-hmm.
How did you go about finding scholarships?
Well, I'm old, so there was no really online applications. There was actually not much Wi-Fi. So basically through my high school counselor. So scholarships were pretty limited back then too. There's no promise or anything like that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Now we're here with
Mr. Clay,
Okay, Mr. Clay, what was your favorite thing about college?
favorite thing about college would definitely have been the freedom that I had to go to classes and I chose to be able to work at the same time.
Okay. What was your least favorite?
The classes. I did not like going to class very It was long hours. So I did Irma Bird Center, and the classes were 2.5 hours long, which was way too long for a college class. What we learned in the classes was good, but the length of the classes was not a very big fan of.
Did you ever change your major?
No, knew from day one I was going to go into teaching. Basically, after I graduated, my parents gave me the option, either move out or go to college. So I chose college, and I'm pretty stubborn, so once I chose something, I just stuck with it.
What piece of advice would you give someone that's thinking about going to college?
Definitely talk to your counselors, the people that make your schedules. I did not do that when I went to college. I'd make my own schedule every single semester. I got behind the classes I needed to take, which made me have to go longer for school. Got in some harder classes that there were easier courses offered for easier teachers. Didn't know about that at the time. So talk to your counselor once you go to college. Make sure they help you with your schedule. That's very important.
Okay, and how did you go about finding any type of scholarships that you had?
So my first year I had a couple of scholarships. They were just from making GPA and attendance and stuff from when I graduated from Liberty. But afterwards, my family paid for my college, so I just never thought to look. I probably should have had, but I never looked.
All right, now I got one last question for you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, how do you feel about binging?
Dingy, guys. I feel very sad. Miss Mom made me a little Paw Patrol Band-Aid today. We had a little incident during the second period because of Benji, but rest in peace, Benji. He shall be remembered.
Yes. That's all we have. Thank you.
We're going to be here.
Let's go. All right, now we're here with
Ashley Brammer.
Okay, Ms. Bremer, what was your favorite thing about college?
My favorite thing about college was getting to not have to wake up at 6:30 a.m. and go to a 8 a.m. class because I was smart and I got 9 or 10 a.m. classes.
What was your least favorite thing?
Skip. Actually, I was a big sports person and college sports were definitely not what they're made out to be.
Okay, how many times did you switch your major?
Twice. And switched colleges twice.
What piece of advice would you give anybody that's thinking about going to college?
I would say don't be so hard on yourself. And if you want to change your major, change your major.
Okay. And how did you go about finding your scholarships?
I Googled them. I mean, you just have to do your own research. Beckley Area Foundation has a bunch of them.
Okay. Well, that's all we have. Thank you.
Is that it?
We're here with Coach Creed now. Tell me what your favorite thing about college was.
Favorite thing about college was meeting new people, ways of life, experiencing different aspects of how to go about your day-to-day life. Met my wife there, so that was a plus.
What was your least favorite thing?
Just the unpreparedness that college gives you at first as a freshman. It can be overwhelming, but perseverance, getting through it.
What advice do you have to people who intend to go to college?
Advice is to make sure you do it. People tell you not to go to college right now this time of day, and it's really something that really pushed me in my young adult life, and I'm glad that I did it.
How did you go about finding scholarships?
Well, I was fortunate enough to go to college playing on a scholarship through football, and I also was fortunate enough through the Beckley Area Foundation where I racked up 3 or 4. So I was fortunate enough for that.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Right. Now we're here with.
Allison Moore.
Okay, Miss Moore, what was your favorite thing about college?
My favorite thing about college was being independent for the first time in my life.
Okay. What was your least favorite thing?
I didn't like living in the dorms.
Do you have any advice that you'd like to give people that are considering going to college?
Go to class.
Okay. How many times did you switch your major, if you switched it at all?
Twice.
Twice. And how did you go about finding scholarships?
I didn't actually get very many scholarships, so I worked a lot.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
did work study, though. Work study is a good program.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. That's all we have
Thank
for
you.
All right. Now we're here with.
Lisa Terry,
Miss
English
Terry.
teacher at Independence High School.
Okay. Miss Terry, what was your favorite thing about college?
Oh gosh, when I went away to college, it was the first time I was away from family. I come from a very strict Pentecostal family. So what I enjoyed was freedom, but what also terrified me was the freedom of being 5 hours away from home.
What was your least favorite thing?
I was very homesick to begin with. And I think I was very naive when I first went away to college. I didn't really understand people coming from such different backgrounds, and I was taken aback quite frequently. But once I got into the groove of things, I enjoyed the differences quite a bit.
Okay. What piece of advice would you give anyone about to enter college?
About to enter college, never room with a close friend. Room with someone that you're compatible with if you are living in the dormitory, but not someone that you're very, very close friends with. I've never seen that work out very well, and I see another teacher over there nodding. Be open to new experiences. When I first went to college, I was determined to be a nurse. I had decided that I was going to be a nurse at maybe 5 years old, 5, 6 years old, and I dogmatically stuck to this idea that I was going to be a nurse. And it took a couple of years in college to realize I really don't like sick people. You know, I'm too nervous. I'm afraid that I'm going to hurt them in some way. So don't automatically stick to what you think you want to do. Be open to new experiences and let that mold what you're going to do with your life.
And you kind of answered my next question about, was that the only time that you switched your major was from nursing to, I guess,
Yes,
education?
it was. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how did you go about finding any scholarships?
I went to Berea College. Berea College is a work-study program based upon how much money your parents make. So I got a full ride to college. They paid for everything. Now, if you go to Berea, not only do you get a full ride to college, they pay for everything. You have to pay for room and board, and that's based upon your parents' income. But they start you off with a laptop, everything that you need, and they do so much for you at Berea.
Where exactly is that college?
Between Louisville and Lexington in Kentucky.
All right. Well, that's all we have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now we're here with
Mr. Urich.
Okay, Mr. Yerrick, what was your favorite thing about college?
He's trying to catch it.
Well, there we go with another one.
Okay. We're racking up the blue. Yeah, let's just go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
I won't lean on that wall now.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Mind frame.
Now we're here with
Mr. Urich.
Mr. Yerrick, what was your favorite thing about college?
The variety of stuff that I got to do, the range of classes that you get to take, the amount of stuff that you get to kind of explore. It's great. You might have one day where you're learning about like literature in the Old West, then you have philosophy, then you have like environmental science. So just that kind of that sort of intellectual smorgasbord thing, I think, is probably the best thing about college to me.
Okay, what was your least favorite part?
The workload, because I was interested in a lot of stuff. I booked myself to do a lot of stuff, so I didn't have really a lot of free time. I had a lot of, usually if I could look ahead a week, it's like, oh, I know how each hour is kind of spoken for, so I think that probably was the hardest thing, just how booked up I was.
Okay, did you ever change your major at all?
No.
Okay, what piece of advice would you give to anyone considering going to college?
The big thing is being ready to plan, because here our days are pretty structured, right? Like we kind of know what we're doing each hour, so you have to be good at kind of figuring out, okay, what do I need to kind of get done for this thing? What do I need to get done for that thing? That sort of stuff. So like, you might have like a paper that you know is due on a Friday, but like that paper's not going to be good unless you like plan to have it done on Wednesday or Thursday, so you can take it to office hours and hear what you're supposed to do to like make it better, things like that.
So just like organization.
Trying to stay like a day ahead of where you're supposed to be is a big thing, because inevitably things are going to come up, or you'll not have stuff you need to work on. Like, for instance, I had sculpture for a year in college, or for a semester, and like you might be like working on something and think you have everything you need, but then you like realize, oh wait, I need to go to the hardware store or whatever. So like being a day ahead is like always a good kind of policy to try and have for college stuff.
Okay, and how did you go about finding any type of like scholarships?
I don't think that I had scholarships. The big thing I'd recommend though is when you're like college shopping, the big U.S. News book, they'll actually say how much need-based aid different colleges cover. So if you can find one that is good about meeting need-based aid, that's what I did. I think I got into the program I wanted 2 different places. There was one where it was going to be, I think, like $30,000 or $40,000 a year to go, with all expenses and everything. The one I ended up going to actually covered all my tuition because we had enough financial need. So like that's a big thing, is to make sure that if you're not like going after scholarships, try and find a place that actually covers need-based aid, because that's going to make a big difference.
Okay, well, thank you. That's all we have.
Yep, thanks so much.
Now we're here with
Miss Green.
Okay, Miss Green, what was your favorite thing about college?
My friends.
What was your least favorite?
Studying.
Okay, what piece of advice would you give to anybody that's considering going to college?
Go to class. For one, go to class, and second, expect to fail, because I heard Miss Smith's interview and I agree with her completely. So it's a shock, and a lot of students don't expect to fail, but when they do, they panic, and so just expect to fail and give yourself some grace.
Okay. Did you change your major at all?
I did.
How many times?
Once.
Okay.
I started as a psychology major and then changed to communications.
Okay. And how did you go about finding any type of scholarships?
I didn't qualify for scholarships, so I got student loans.
Oh.
But, you know, you have to apply for the FAFSA, so that's what I did. And I got my student loans.
All right, well, that's all we have. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're here with Katie Smith. What was your favorite thing about college? My favorite thing about college was living on campus. Living the college life, walking around campus, living in the dorms, meeting new people. That was probably one of the best parts.
What was your least favorite thing?
Going to class. No, I actually really like my classes. The least favorite, I don't think I had a least favorite. Like, there wasn't anything I didn't like about college. It was a great experience for me.
Do you have any advice to anybody that plans on going to college?
If you plan on going to college, then don't slack off. You guys are generally lazy. And when you get to college, then you don't go to your classes, or you go to your classes but you don't do your work. And because there's less assignments and there's less tests and less of everything, and there's nobody there nagging you to turn stuff in, it can be a pretty rude awakening. A lot of people struggle, especially freshman year.
How did you go about finding your scholarships?
I applied for the FAFSA when I was supposed to, and then I just got scholarships. I got Promise and then some other stuff. I paid $0 for college.
Thank you.
$0.
Now we're here with
Erin Buckland.
All right, Miss Buckland, what was your favorite thing about college?
I liked all like the different cultures and the different projects and things that we got to do in my art classes. It kind of like broadened the horizons of like what I had been exposed to in high school, and it was nice to mix with people from different backgrounds who had different perspective on things.
Okay, what was your least favorite thing?
Early morning classes. It is not the time to, I was not a morning person, so it definitely was not fun to get up super early and go to class.
What piece of advice would you give to anyone that's considering going to college?
Make a schedule for yourself and stick to it. Have like a plan of attack, and go to bed at a decent hour. Have a time that you set aside for studying, a time that you set aside for socializing, but make school a priority and stick to that schedule so that you'll be successful.
We're here with Mr. Morneau. Tell us what your favorite thing about college was.
I went to Concord, and I really loved the small campus community. Concord, known as the Campus Beautiful, and it was always beautiful, especially this time of year. It was only at that time it had about 5,000 students, so it was really like a big high school. So I really loved the relationships and the camaraderie that I made with all the people that I went to school with.
What was your least favorite thing?
8 o'clock labs.
Do you have any advice to anybody that plans on going to college?
The biggest thing is just perseverance. The big thing that we have here at our school is be cold camp tough, and that's it goes beyond just being in sports. It has to be about grit, determination, perseverance. Anything that you do, whether you go in the military, go to college, go straight to a job. If you're gonna whatever you're gonna pursue, do it with the best you can and persevere through it all.
I agree. How many times did you switch your major?
Once. I started out as a political science major, and then I switched to education.
How did you go about finding scholarships?
I had guidance counselors were very influential in helping me get through what I needed to do, and I was actually very successful, and I didn't have any debt when I got out of school. So that was very awesome, very awesome.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
And now we're here with
Krista Piercy.
What was your favorite thing about college?
My favorite thing about college was learning the knowledge to teach special education students to their ability to watch them achieve their goals on their individual levels.
What was your least favorite?
My least favorite thing about college would have been the pressure of all of the classes that had to be taken at the same time. That led up to student teaching, which was amazing for me. I absolutely loved that part. So I would think the least favorite would be just the pressure of college.
And what advice do you have for anybody that wants to go to college?
My advice is to do not give up. The first semester, I think, it is a make or break situation. Don't let it break you, because it gets better and better, and when you end, you have achieved that goal that you can take with for the rest of your life, and no one can ever take that from you.
Thank you. Second?
And now we're here with
Jennifer Harris.
Miss Harris. What was your favorite thing about college?
I liked the ability to pick classes that you really enjoyed, that you were interested in, and to pick your own schedule.
What was your least favorite thing about college?
The effort it took to keep grades up. especially after the second year. My third and fourth year, I struggled a little bit with grades.
How many times did you switch your major?
Twice. I started with accounting, did not really enjoy that, went to history major for education, and then changed it to math education.
What piece of advice would you give anyone considering going to college?
Effort. College is very lax, and most kids just don't attend classes or think they can slide by because they don't have classes every day, and then grades start slipping.
And Ms. Harris, what would you like to say to your Beta Club members that have yet to complete their academic tests?
I'm not understanding why this is still a thing. They are due tomorrow.
Just do the test, guys. Come on.
Yeah, just do the tests.
Thank you. Now we're here with
Kelly Sharp.
Miss Sharp. What was your favorite thing about college?
My favorite thing about college was cheering and my professors.
What was your least favorite thing about college?
My least favorite thing was probably the dean of English because he didn't see anything in me that he felt would make a good teacher.
That's very hard to believe. But do you have any piece of advice for people that want to go to college?
Make sure that you budget your time. A lot of times you get that freedom if you're living on campus, and when you get there, it's like you're turned loose. And if you don't budget your time, pay attention to the syllabus, then you will have difficulties keeping your grades where they need to be.
Now we're here with
Miss Belcher.
All right, Miss Belcher, what was your favorite thing about college?
My favorite thing about college was learning something new and something different. I've always been a big learner. I've always wanted to go to school and to challenge myself, so I love learning things that I didn't know before.
Okay. What was your least favorite?
My least favorite thing was biology lab, and I'll tell you why, because I'm not a blood and gut kind of person, and we had to dissect a frog, and I couldn't even look at it. So that was my least favorite thing about college, was biology lab.
Okay, what piece of advice would you give anyone that's about to enter college?
The best piece of advice I can give anyone that's about to enter college is be organized. Get yourself a calendar, get yourself an agenda, and write things down when they're due, because you get the syllabus once, usually at the beginning of the semester, and you might lose your phone. I know people use their phone as calendars, but you might lose your phone or it might stop working. So get that agenda and write everything down for the whole semester, starting in August to December and January to May, and that way you know when things are due and you won't have any surprises.
Okay. Did you switch your major at all?
I switched my majors a lot. I always wanted to be a teacher. I started out with elementary ed, and then I switched to social work. Then I switched to healthcare administration, and then last I switched back to secondary education.
Okay. And how did you go about finding scholarships?
Luckily, I had a wonderful guidance counselor who taught me a lot about scholarships and searching for scholarships. And if you look, they're there. But you have to use your resources. You have to go to your guidance counselors. You have to go to your teachers. A lot of times they have scholarships, but you have to put the work in to find them. Thank you. Thank you.
Now we're here with
Mr. Jenkins.
Mr. Jenkins, what was your favorite thing about college?
Well, actually, I went to college later in life, so it wasn't really fun for me, to be honest with you. I was trying to get in, get out, because I didn't go back till I was 35. So, I already had a family. I kind of did everything like opposite and backwards, so I was trying to hurry up and get in. I actually graduated in 3.5 years, so with my degree.
That's impressive. What was your least favorite thing about college?
For me, having a family, so I already had kids, and so I was going to school, and I was working, a job too as well. So I wasn't really enjoying the college life at that age. So my advice is make better decisions when you're younger. Don't do what I did. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you.
All right.
And now we're here with
Karen Dickens.
What was your favorite thing about college?
I think the favorite thing about college was I played tennis my whole life, and I got a tennis scholarship, so that's how I went to college. And I guess my favorite thing was getting to know everyone and that's also where I went with my husband. I met him. So,
What was your least favorite thing?
my least favorite thing, math is not my forte, so probably the math classes and the struggle between trying to go to practice, keep up with the workflow and all of that.
What advice would you give to anybody watching about college?
My advice would be to do your best, live each day, and make the most of your college experience.
And how did you find scholarships?
I found it through my counselor. She helped me, and also through college coaches, things like that.
Thank you.
Okay, we're here with.
Aaron Tolliver.
All right, Mr. Tolliver, what was your favorite thing about college?
My favorite thing about college was probably the scheduling, to be able to make your own schedule and not have to have the same repeated 6 a.m. to 3 o'clock schedule every day. You know, you could do whatever you wanted and make the best schedule you could ever have and sleep in till 10 or 11 and go to 3 classes a day and be done by 2.
Okay, what was your least favorite thing?
My least favorite thing about college, probably 2 things. The self-motivation part. If you're not self-motivated, it's hard because it's really easy to just get up every day and just do nothing, because I somewhat do that now sometimes. And probably the level of difficulty that college can bring. You know, it's one of those things where if, you know, you're not particularly good in a subject and you have to take it, it sucks and it's really hard. And if you don't push through it, then you're going to fail, and it's all money at that point. So you lose money, and losing money also sucks. So.
Okay, what piece of advice would you give to anyone considering going to college?
Really think about if it's for you first, if where you're going is a benefit to you or just a want or pleasure, and if what you're going to do in college is really going to make a good life for you. So that would probably be my best advice to give someone that's going to go to college.
Did you switch your major?
Technically yes, technically no. I was going to be a math major and got overzealous and took 3 really hard math classes, and they punched me in the face, and so then I had to switch to history because, you know, it was my first favorite. So, but that's it.
Okay. How did you find scholarships?
My mother, she was on my back the whole time to come in here and get scholarship packets from the counselors every day. And so every other week I would walk in here and ask my counselor if there was any new scholarship packets, and she would give it to me, and I'd take it home and she'd fill it out. And then once she filled it out, all I had to do was make sure that it said what it needed to say and all that stuff, and that's pretty much how I did it. So.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey everybody, it's Hannah Plumley, and I'm here with
Steve Larraba.
Okay. What was your favorite thing about college?
My favorite thing about college was social life. It was fun.
What was your least favorite thing?
The money that I had to spend to go.
For anybody watching, what advice would you give them?
To visit multiple schools and to get as much information about the school and the life around the town of the school as possible, because you're going to be there quite a bit, and it needs to be in an area that you like to be in and enjoy.
How many times did you switch your major?
I switched my major 1 time, and it stayed within the same school within the college, so most of my credits transferred over very easily.
And how did you find your scholarships?
It was a lot through my counselors, and also a big old book of available scholarships that we had to look through, and my parents also helped with finding some of that.
Thank you.
Now we're here with
Miss Sever.
Miss Sever. What was your favorite thing about college?
I would have to say homecoming week. It was a blast, especially when the theme was Skunk Week.
What was Skunk Week?
We had a mascot that was a skunk that ran around campus the entire week, And I actually had my advisor a key to his office because I worked in his office. And I snuck and put a fake skunk attached to his door so that when he came in that morning, it flew at his head. It was great, the reaction. I had a great week that week.
What was your least favorite thing about college?
Reading class. I had a professor that, it almost made me hate reading in general and almost made me quit. Like, the teacher was just horrible. But I got through it. I passed.
What's one piece of advice that you would give to any student thinking about going to college?
Pick what you want to do. Make sure it is what you want to do. And if in the middle of your degree that you're working on, you decide this is not what I want to do, make that choice then to switch it up while you're young.
And how did you find scholarships for your degree?
I auditioned at Glenville State College and received a partial scholarship. Basically, that's all we had back in that day. I applied for everything, but that's the only one I got.
All right, well, thank you.